which is all about the new moon in Aquarius and the eclipse that's coming in. So you all know eclipses are choice points. They're turning points. This particular eclipse, guys, is a big, huge choice point. Like, I can't even tell you guys how important this next week leading up to the 17th of February is for us to get our stuff in place and really think about, focus on what it is that is truly your value and what matters to you and what you really, really value. Like, what do you see moving forward as what you want to do in your life that is so important that you want to bring it into the future? Because that's the choice point. Aquarius energy, where we have a lot of planets. I'm just going to look at the chart for 1 minute right now and see Aquarius energy right now, because the planets are moving into Pisces. Right now in Aquarius, we've got the sun. We've got Venus is actually in, Venus, and it's in Pisces now. Mars, Pluto. Yeah. Okay. Because Venus today on the 9th is in Aquarius, headed to Pisces for the 14th. It'll be in Pisces, I think, the 11th or 12th. So we've still got a lot of Aquarian energy around, and Pluto's going to be in Aquarius for the next 20 some odd years. So the reason why this is such an important choice point is because there's other things happening right after this eclipse, which happens on the 17th. Aquarius new moon eclipse on the 17th, and then on the 20th, Neptune and Saturn come to the first degree of Aries, which is a whole new start, whole new cycle, like thousands of years of stuff ending, all new stuff beginning. So this Aquarian new moon is an acceleration point. Everything's going to feel speeded up. Now, it feels like February 1st was yesterday. Today is the 9th. Tomorrow's the 10th already. This Saturday is the 14th. Time is so sped up. You're going to find that acceleration even faster, because this isn't just a new moon. It's an eclipse. It's in Aquarius. It's all happening in a sign where Uranus, the planet of sudden, shocking acceleration, electricity, things happening very quickly, energy, is the ruler of this sign. And now we've got Pluto there. We've got the moon there. This is all about speeding things up, showing us where the awakening has to happen, and collapsing all the old stuff that can't come into the future with us. So this is about liberation. It's about innovation, authenticity. When you focus on what you value most and what really matters to you, make sure it's aligned with the authenticity, because this is fast, speedy, and not just because of this, but we've got the year of the fire horse, which is really a speedy energy. And it's a number 1 year, which is all new energy. So this is really about a total cosmic reset like we've never seen before in our lives. And that's why you see all this turbulence all over the globe, because things that are not of the higher alignment of future are just collapsing. And we're seeing that all around us. So this is about liberation, innovation, authenticity, future timelines. That's why get rid of anything that is old and no longer works. I don't care if it's like a blender or your partner, get rid of it, because this universe will do it for you in this energy. It's extremely heightened acceleration for our souls. This is collective evolution. That's why you're seeing this all in the streets. The rebellion against outdated systems. This energy is passionate. It's dynamic. Things are going to speed up and come out of the blue. What do you want to focus on? You want to focus on being the architect of the things you want to bring into your future life. This is a time of choice point. Which are you going to choose? Dark or light? Good or bad? What am I going to focus my energy on? And to make this even more heightened, Uranus, the ruler of this eclipse and new moon of Aquarius, ruling Pluto for the next 20 years, that sudden, fast, changing energy, awakening, the lightning in the room, the quick, what did I just see? Oh, wait, now I know where everything is. I have clarity. Uranus. All of this energy that's happening on the new moon and the eclipse is squaring where Uranus is natally. So the ruler of all of this Aquarian energy is being squared by the Aquarian energy. What does that mean? It means it's heightened, it's amplified. The acceleration is just going to be like warp speed. You're going to see a lot of things happen in this next few weeks. This is also about Uranus as the accelerator and squaring this eclipse. It's sudden change, it's awakening. Anything that's on a shaky foundation, out. Done. Deception. This is why you're seeing all this stuff come out about the Epstein files, even though the suicide or the death of Epstein was how many years ago? 7 years ago? 6 years ago? And now all of a sudden you're seeing all this stuff come out. You're seeing stuff come out in the press about so many things politically in all countries. It's because now that this energy is accelerating the higher vibration of humanity, it's asking us to align with our vision of the future so we can create it. Now we are in a heightened acceleration of deception collapsing. Anything that's not of that higher octave will collapse, but it's an equal part of dark and light, because as people, the foundations under us collapse, we want to grab onto something. You know, think of the Titanic when it was collapsing and everybody grabbed onto anything, a deck chair, a piece of wood, whatever, right? Because we need grounding. We have to cling to something that's going to make us feel stable and like we have hope. And that's exactly what's happening now in the world. But because we also have a lot of Pisces energy out there, a lot of it is illusion, but we don't know it. So these are times when you have to go within, stabilize yourself, come out of the sudden change, come out of anything that in your mind on the daily is aligned with your thought of, this can't continue. I got to get out of here. I can't tolerate this anymore. This isn't good for me. Anything that you're saying something like that, got to go, because the universe is going to collapse it. I'm telling you. This is what's going to go on. We have to change now. We have to embrace this timeline and realize the timelines that we're done with, because this is a huge evolution push. This is going to feel in our life. Yes, it can be very anxiety provoking. I understand that. But it's also sudden clarity. It's also feeling grounded where you've never felt grounded before. It's like leaping off the cliff and realizing your feet just hit some beautiful, soft ground. We'll feel restless. Our nervous system is being activated in this. 2 weeks ago, I remember I could not even sit still. I just had so much nervous energy. So find things that allow you to comfort your desire to break free in a healthy way, right? Really go into the body. And what does my body need right now? What do I need in order to navigate this time? I know I'm in an acceleration of great change. The universe is pushing me to step into the future that I really, really want, the things that really, really matter to me. And you're going to find grand gestures for some and small things for others. And I'm going to just give you a real personal story here that is kind of silly, but aligns with the energy. I have these leather couches in my den in my home that I have had since 2003. And they were very, very expensive. They were beautiful. They're still nice, but the dog's been on them. There's claw marks on them and everything. And for years, I'm like, I got to redo the den. I redid other parts of my house. I'm like, I have to redo this room. It's like the black hole of the house. It has so much energy in it from like 20 some odd years. And so many things that have happened on these sofas. If they could talk, I don't even want them to talk, because a lot of things. I mean, the one sofa is where I learned my marriage was over. I've had joy in that room also. So many holiday celebrations and celebrations of people who are now passed. It reminds me of my parents and all kinds of things. It's just a lifetime of energy in that room. And I know that it's time to release it. I know I have to just give this stuff away, get it out of there, put in new flooring, do everything, right? The room looks okay, but I don't want this energy in my life anymore. It's very heavy. It feels heavy because it's just from a different time. And like I said, there's been joy in that room. There's been celebration in that room. I did Reiki in that room for many, many years. I had beautiful circles in that room, life groups. Everything has happened in that room. Every energy you could possibly imagine has happened in that room. And it's time to get rid of these sofas and get rid of the energy. New day for Georgia. And the energy just doesn't match the rest of the house anymore and the whole thing. And I still have, I was talking to my boyfriend about it this morning. I still have this attachment to these sofas. Like when they finally leave the house, I'm like, and I'm having this conversation with him. I was like, I don't want anybody else to have them. I don't want anybody to, I'm like, there's so much energy in these things, sounds crazy. I know, but it's the truth. So I said to him, I said, listen, can we put them in your truck and literally take them to the dump? I think it would be very cathartic for me to just know that they're going to be burned and trashed and no one will ever sit on them again. This is such a huge part of my life for some reason. And of course he supports that. He's like, whatever you need. And I know I'm attached to it because part of me will always be in those things. In some ways that room sculpted a big part of my life. There was so much energy and so much beautiful interaction in that room and so much tragedy and so much grief. But it's not the couches. All that energy is in me, and I need to decipher what I'm bringing forward in my life, doing Reiki circles in a different environment, doing my healing work, my astrology, having beautiful celebrations and things like that. That energy is something that I create and I emote. So I just wanted to share that little part with you because a lot of times from the show and feedback I get, people think I'm talking about going out and completely changing your whole life and doing these grand gestures. And it can be something as simple as I need to redecorate this room that I practically live in all my whole life. And I need to feel it really differently and be able to thrive in there and not feel heaviness. So again, anything where you say, I'm done with this. This can't continue. I need to change it now. You're done with the timeline, and I'm really trying to pull that energy of the beauty forward, of the lessons forward, and go into a time where now I'm excited about what the room's going to look like when it finally gets done. So that's the best use of this accelerated energy with the eclipse. It's also about what we're being initiated into. This isn't just a choice point. It's an initiation. It's about not feeling the old wound and also not feeling the old world, not getting sucked into old belief systems and anger and fear. We have a blank canvas ahead of us. What do you want to really paint on it? What are the things that you see in your life that can expand and grow and be part of that beautiful new canvas? And what are the things that you need to just say, you know what, I'm done with this. And it was beautiful when I had it. I really enjoyed it. I'll always remember it. But I feel detached enough from it that I can bring in something new in the space. And these are really necessary spaces that we need to create in our life. This is also about allowing Uranus, which some astrologists call the destroyer, to come into our life and disrupt things and understand that it's not destroying or disrupting for the sake of chaos, even though we see that out in the world because people are buying into that. The real reason why things are being disrupted is because those things are blocking our evolution. And we want to expand love and expand compassion in the world. We've got to create a life that embodies that. And that's what this acceleration point is about. So higher intelligence, you're going to feel more intuitive than ever, especially with these Pisces things happening that I discussed in the first segment. And especially with on the 20th, Saturn and Neptune coming together. High intuition, breathing fire, giving life to your dream. That fantasy will now be separated from reality so that you can bring some of it into reality and see the clarity. Aquarius also, because it can be detaching, can help us step into the bigger picture because like those couches, I'm going to be able to let go of them in this energy. And you want to have the energy of innovation and renovation, reinvention, really go into that. Stop going into, if you have been at all, I know we all get pulled in at times into that fear, that energy of, oh my God, what's going to happen? Let me turn this channel on. Let me turn this podcast on because I need the gloom and doom. I need to know in case something happens. Well, if your soul is aligned with the future and your soul is aligned with your own stability, you don't really need to know because you already know. The soul already knows. So let your authenticity come through. This eclipse is going to strip away the masks. You're going to see a lot of people now for who they really are. You're going to really see that, and you're going to have compassion. You're not going to have fear or judgment or anger. You're just going to be like, oh, that's what that is. Well, It's time for me to move away from that. Or it's time for me to send love there. Or maybe I can help this person. It's not going to be this violent, judgmental energy if you can really go into the higher octave. But part of that also is, guys, when the masks get stripped off, so do our own masks get stripped off. And now it becomes, we can't pretend anymore. The relationship that isn't enough, the job that's stifling, the person that doesn't respect our boundaries, the places where we don't respect others, those are all going to come to a head. We can't continue in the energy anymore. So say yes to this new timeline. Uranus is going to bring us a lot of intuition, flashes of intuition. Like I said on the last broadcast, it's that lightning that flashes in the room so that we know where the furniture is in a blackout. And we're like, oh, wait, now I see. That lightning helped me. I shouldn't fear it, right? The awakening, the great awakening. This is about that lightning in the room. It speaks to us in flashes. Pay attention to those flashes because that's where the idea of genius can drop out of nowhere. Just be really careful because that Pisces energy can put us in the illusion like there's a great idea. Oh, wait, maybe it wasn't. Don't cling to the old structures. Just because something worked once doesn't mean something better isn't going to work better. So be really open to that because a lot of these structures are going to collapse. Don't be afraid to upgrade your environment. Aquarius rules technology. It rules networking. It rules systems. It rules, the uniqueness and embracing that in all of us. So don't be afraid to reorganize, to reinvent yourself and support yourself in who you're becoming. Don't always look to others to do that. Do it for yourself. And then also, as far as connecting with your soul tribe and your groups and your people, you definitely want to do that, but you also want to make sure it's authentic, not tribes that are excluding other people. So a beautiful affirmation, and I'll put them on the social media for this February eclipse and new moon is, I release the past with clarity and courage. I align with my future self. This is about really finding that future self. Who is she or he? Who are they? What do they really look like? And trust the acceleration, the things that are going to start happening really quickly, the things that are going to start dropping off really quickly, the things that are going to appear. Just say, I'm ready for a timeline that matches my soul. I'm ready for a timeline that matches my alignment and what I really want to do. And again, it doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Maybe you always wanted to be a mom and you don't have a partner and now you're going to go out and do that. Maybe you wanted to be a photographer and now you're going to go do that. Maybe you just wanted to be promoted at the job you have or specialize in a certain thing or just change the way you parent or change the way you relate to people and certain relationships in your life. Whatever it is, you have a blank canvas. If you're interested in where this is in your particular chart, book a reading with me. You can go on zenkuda.com. So how does the Pisces energy, that Venus and Pisces energy that we were talking about, and this new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, how does it all align? Well, I'm going to leave you with this, guys. In evolutionary astrology, Aquarius represents the soul's liberation from conditioning, from the old stuff that doesn't work. And Pisces represents the soul's return to source. So what better energy to co-create with than the most powerful, highest energy we have, God, whatever you call God, whatever your higher power, the energy you believe created you. If you can link with that in order to liberate your soul and create the life you want, well, there's no better love than that. So that's what this next week is about. And the signs from the universe are going to show you exactly what that is for you. So I am Georgia Rose, your psychic astrologer. If you'd like a specific reading, just book me at zenkuda.com. And please, if this resonates with you and you think other people should hear it, share the show. We're really trying to get our community to be really big so that we can put love everywhere. Thanks so much. And I'll be back in the Soul Space Live, 7 o'clock on Monday nights. And if you want to replay the show, YouTube, Strong Island Television, or my own YouTube site, Zenkuda, or any podcast platform that you watch, ask it to play The Soul Space with Georgia Rose. Good night.